What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are doing the road to master rank once again. Apologies about the lack of career mode. Like I said on Twitter, I'm having a couple of days off break, but I will be back tomorrow after the British Grand Prix has gone live. After the race has been run and done, we will be going live with Season 2 of career mode, hopefully. But bear in mind, I'm kind of burning the midnight oil at the moment, trying to get these videos made after being at Silverstone all day. Right now, that's what I'm doing after the Friday. So, yeah, hopefully you guys appreciate that. If you do, hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. It is time for some more ranked open lobbies. You can see I got a fat amount of competition points. That was me collecting my prizes, I guess, for last week in the weekly event. So, yeah, that's cool. At some point in this video, we will be somewhat customizing our car or picking a new car livery. So we shall see how that looks. But, yeah, we joined this lobby. This is my first one of the day. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do qualifying, and because of that, I will be starting from the back and with the default setup. So that's going to make life a little bit more difficult for me. But 5 red lights. And away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. This is my first race of the day, and we're getting thrown right into the deep end here in this race. A massive tank slapper as we get going in this race. But somehow, I think we actually gained a position despite... Oh no, I'm giving up all the places on the run into turn 1. Absolutely no bravery. So, Ben, you are well and truly... Actually, I remember now, I was calibrating my brake pedal. My throttle pedal wasn't calibrated because I hadn't pressed the accelerator pedal yet, and even though I was putting in tiny inputs, that is far from a tiny input from that not worded guy. Thank you for that. I was putting in tiny inputs on my throttle, but because it wasn't calibrated, I was getting 100% throttle despite pressing the throttle 30%. Does that make sense? So, wheel users will know what I'm talking about. When you first turn your, go through a corner, and you randomly spin out, you have no reason why, it's because the throttle isn't calibrated. So, yeah, we've had brake calibration jokes. Get ready for the throttle calibration. That should see us through until 2021, so that's fine. Up the inside of Has I Power 168. Not enough power to keep me behind, that's for sure. We go into neutral, box of neutrals, and I'm having a tough time of getting past this guy, so it looks like this is going to be a tough old race to redeem some skill rating from in this one. You know, normally, or in the last episode, we were on the podium every single race. We either won or we got second. But this time, that is looking a whole lot less likely. Only 5 laps, not a lot of time to get through the field. But if anything, in the rain, there's an even larger skill gap than what there is in the dry. So I'm hoping if we can just get a good run at this, we might be okay. Up the inside of Has No Power. And there we go, into P6. This guy, not worded, is the one who gave me a bit of a punt last time around. He runs wide through turn 3. And there we go, we are through into the top 5 now. And we can set our sights on Melon up ahead. That's a double dive bomb from those two behind me who were slow all throughout the last lap. They all of a sudden thought, okay, I might push now. I might have some pace. But they throw that pace into my car and use it as a brake to get back through. So I really appreciate that. We're back behind the slow dude again. We go up the inside. Has no power. Go away. Don't want to see you again. For the rest of this video, it's P4. Someone made a mistake, I think, because we were in P5. I don't know. Anyway, we got clear air now. We're going to be able to see what the true pace is. You can see we're massively catching these guys up ahead. So it was just a case of getting past the people who really enjoyed blocking, and now we can have a better time at this Grand Prix. Fastest up of the race. You love to see it. Start finish straight. Basically, no advantage in a straight line, so overtaking is a little bit more difficult, but we get the job done into the braking zone, and we are onto the podium now, ladies and gentlemen. The leader is only right there, like literally 2 or 3 seconds up the road. So we're half a chance of still winning this race. We need to clear Geordie. Speaking of, job done. Right, we can set our sights on Freeman for the race victory. This has been a interesting old race here, this Spanish Grand Prix. It makes it so much more interesting when I have to fight my way through the field. But of course, we don't like to fight our way through, because in ranked, when you the more cars you have to battle, the more dangerous it gets, if you will. But Freeman making me not feel like a free man. Being restricted to the grass, it seems. Oh my god, no, this is another one of those guys who will defend the lead of the race, no matter what the cost. So I gave him a bit of his own medicine there. He squeezes me off again, giving absolutely no room. I probably shouldn't have gone for that gap in the end there, and I've cost myself some more time. And now I am left vulnerable to the drivers behind. So, yeah, let's cover the inside and make sure we don't get dive bombed for the 3rd lap in a row. That would be an absolute disaster. But yeah, despite losing a couple of seconds there, we managed to catch right up to Freeman once again. Right at the end of the race. It's P2. It's annoying. I really shouldn't have stooped to his level. I should have just been patient, waited it out. He would have made a mistake, and we should have just sawed on through instead of forcing the issue and forcing ourselves into a half spin. Away we go now for race 2. It's Baku. We got pole, so let's hopefully get away from all the idiots. I think Freeman quit because maybe he realized we were quite quick, and him winning races from here on in was going to be difficult. But yeah, I've made life difficult for myself once again. I've given up the lead at the Azerbaijan Gp, and now we are set to follow a couple of guys through. So let's see if we can find an avenue. No, going to the inside is not going to work there. So we're just going to wait for a mistake. This is a risky play as well, because if I wait too long and if I don't go for a move, then all people behind me will catch up. So having to play this very cautiously, I would say. Yannick, thank you for the front wing damage. That's going to make life very difficult for the rest of this race now. I'm trying to push on. The guy in front with a clear car is pulling away, but I was still staying close to him and putting the pressure on, forcing him. I wouldn't say forcing him into a mistake, but he made a mistake and we got the lead. So all's well and ends well, I suppose. In Baku, we get another win. We're edging closer to gold rating now. I think maybe 1 or 2 races away and we should be there. We move on to Austria now. I don't even know what race we're at now. Is this race 3? We get pole, and yes, we are clear to get on with this race. Unfortunately, I was given a setup glitch for this one. I got given a setup glitch for the Baku race as well. I didn't even talk about that, but that did happen. I had like near on 100% brake pressure. This time I have a default setup, so it seems like the multiplayer lobbies is just a lottery, an absolute lottery as to what kind of setup you will get. And unfortunately, our setup has been taken away from us, so our pace isn't as good in this one. But yeah, settling into this race, I unfortunately got a 2-second corner cutting penalty, and now I'm having to push really hard now to get the gap out to 2 seconds in order for me to win this race. So yeah, it seems no matter what the race, I like to make, I seem to unintentionally make things very difficult for myself, and so it's going to come down right to the wire now in this last lap. The gap is 1.9 seconds to DRC. It's not DRC Jared, but it's DRC Gloves and Steering Wheel behind, so I love that name. We're coming through to the final couple of corners, and it's actually really tense now. I need to put in a good couple of corners, and we might be half a chance of winning this race. Up to the line using all the battery and the fuel. Do we win the race? Yes, we do. Only just by 0.04 of a second, we were able to break out the gap to 2 seconds, and I gotta tell you, it was so tense those last 2 or 3 laps, because I felt like I had the pace, but if I made a single mistake, it would have been game over. He would have got back in my slipstream, and I wouldn't have been able to break out the gap anymore, because the gap, or the pace between the two of us was very close. But now we're going to splash the cash after, yeah, getting a few competition points from all the wins we've got in this episode and also last episode and the weekly event. So we went for the Neon car. I definitely bottled that, but I'm hoping that this car can give me somewhat better luck than what I've been experiencing so far. Away we go for the Belgian Grand Prix. It is pole position once again, so we're in the box seat to hopefully stay clear of all the carnage. Once again, I can't reiterate this enough. Very important to qualify at the front and have a clean first lap, and just don't get involved in any dramas. If you keep getting tangled up, then you're going to constantly stay in the rank that you're in. But anyway, we can see we're getting pressured quite badly here by Breda. I'm going to call him Brudder brother? Yeah, let's go brother. Anyway, he was fast in the early stages of this race. You can see putting the pressure on into turn 1. Pinch the inside front. And he was always right there. So I was having to keep my wits about me. Make sure I didn't, you know, use too much fuel. Use too much ERS. As this is a power track after all. If you have no fuel, if you have no ERS, you've got no pace. Simple as that. But we were able to, I think, efficiently manage the car quite well. And I feel like our pace relative to brother behind us was relatively strong. And as time went on, I feel like it only got better. But unfortunately, my brother made a mistake and he is not in P2 anymore. We have a lap car getting in the way, which on the penultimate lap of a race you are destined to win is what you love to see. Get out of the way, please. Okay. I don't know what you were trying there, but you obviously failed there. Like, who the hell gets lapped in a 5-lap race and then just gets in the way like that? I don't know. But anyway, we won the race. It was all fine. We took a bit of a warning having to evade that lap car, which prevented me from moving up in my license rating, which is great. So, oh well. I guess safety rating doesn't really matter at this stage. I just really care about the skill rating at this stage. We can still get the safety rating at a later date. But 5 red lights and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. And I was actually really dreading this race because turn 1 at Monza is always carnage in online lobbies. So I was just praying that nobody outbreak themselves. It's 3 wide into turn 1. And we are still intact, which you'll love to see. Neum can live for another day. We've got brother in P2, so hopefully he can have some better luck in this one. He's looking for an avenue up the inside, but no, he loses his front wing on the run into the middle sector. We snatch up that position and we move up into P2, and it looks like he'll be fading away in this one with some damage, unfortunately. But now let's see if we can put the pressure on Bert New here. Bit of a tank slapper on the exit of the Ascari chicane, and it's going to be side by side on the run into Ascari. Let's see if we can hold it round the outside here. I don't know if I want to take the lead here, but let's go for it anyway. YOLO round the outside into the lead of Monza once again. And now let's see if we can break the slipstream to the cars behind. It's very powerful on the F1 games. So if you can break the toe, get outside of 1 second, it makes life very difficult for your competitors. And again, we have survived turn 1. It's just, in these lobbies, you can't trust anyone. You really can't, because one small mistake, they go in your side pod or your front wing, and then boom, your race is over. But we got through, and it was a relatively stress-free race, despite me fearing the absolute worst. I saw Monza coming up next on the lobby list, and I'm like, is this a good point to stop? I think it is, but I thought, no, I'll push on for one more, and I'm glad I did because we got some more points. But anyway, we move on to Japan. I thought Monza was the last race, but it looks like I think Japan is the last race. Okay, yes it is. Away we go for Japan. Another pole start for this race, and a much cleaner turn 1, so it's not 3 wide into turn 1, which I really appreciate, and now we can get on with the Grand Prix. And this one was very, very easy for us. We got into the lead. We were uncontested there. I think the guys were fighting away for P2 quite hard, so that made life relatively stress-free for me. No lap cars getting in the way, no drama, just the kind of perfect ranked race you want to see on paper, and we got it. More gold rating. Thank you very much. See you next time. And that is it for all the races for this ranked episode of Road to Master Rank. We're getting there now. We're only, what, 460 odd away from getting Master Rank. But I hear that it gets very, very difficult after you get to like gold rating 2, which I feel like we're on the verge of. If I'm not mistaken, it might be 2,200 points. So we shall see what happens when we get into the next echelon, hopefully in the next episode. But thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. And those who are waiting for career mode, I appreciate your patience. But we'll be back very, very soon if everything goes to plan. We need to upgrade that driver suit because it's looking quite bare. So we'll do something about that. We'll splash some more cash once we earn it. That's a tongue twister, and I don't know why. Anyway, I'm waffling. Goodbye. In a bit. Laters. Cheers. What are you doing? Get out of here.